Hey guys, Joe here at Geeks Worldwide. This is the Acer Predator Triton 500 with an RTX 2080. This thing is a beast. I was so excited when I got it because I've had my eyes on it for years, and I finally got the latest model with the 10th gen Intel processor. This thing is awesome, but not perfect, so I'll get into that in a minute. Please note that this is more of a lifestyle review. I'll be comparing it a lot with my Razer Blade 15 from 2018 with a GTX 1070 Max-Q. I paid the same for this that this retails for, $2,600. And yeah, we'll get into that. Now, one last little announcement, and that is that I've got two more items in the review pipeline. The Genkai Convert Dock for the Nintendo Switch. This is for the regular Switch, not the Lite, and it's basically a replacement for the standard big bulky dock that scratches some people's Switches. And I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was at launch a long time ago. And also the Razer Blackshark V2X, which is billed as an esports headset. I've had a few minutes with it so far. I just got it last night, and I really like it. So thanks to Razer for sending this, and thanks to Genkai for sending this one over. And now for the review. Starting with the specs, we have an Intel i7 10750H, an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Super Max-Q, a really nice 1080p display with a 16:9 aspect ratio, 16 gigs more than you need of RAM, so 32, and a 1TB SSD. Performance is where I really scratch my head on this device. Now again, this has the RTX 2080 Super Max-Q. This is a beast if you look at the numbers, but the actual real-world performance delta over my 2018 Razer Blade 15 with the GTX 1070 Max-Q is about 25%. Now that does sound meaningful, but when you look at game by game, so let's take the synthetics out of it for a moment, what I really saw was about a 10 to 20 frame per second increase. That's definitely really good, but it's not worth an upgrade if you're coming off a 2-year-old machine that's functioning fine. And then if you consider what you can do with a desktop at this price, man, I mean, you can obliterate those frames with a $1,200, white boxed PC, and then you could spend the remaining $1,400 getting yourself a really nice Ultrabook. And that's a pretty good combination if you ask me. If you just want to have one device, I think still this is not the performance that you'd be happy with. Port selection is good, but it's a missed opportunity to not move power and some of these other ports to the back. Also, there is a status light for your power, which is really cool. The build quality is really good overall, but the one problem I have is the hinge on the display. You'll see in this demonstration with my Blade on the right and the Predator on the left is that it's going to quickly collapse once the display gets within just a few inches of the keyboard deck. 2 years old and the Blade is still kicking butt in this department. Now, the way that they made the distribution of the weight feel so smooth and good is they actually just elongated the deck, which I think is a good move. It's a bigger footprint, but I like the way that it feels. So overall, I like it, but I don't love it. It's hard to recommend at $2,600, and I'm not sure how Acer is with sales, but they're going to be nothing like Lenovo, for example. They're crazy with sales. From a value standpoint, Lenovo's still the king in my opinion. When it comes to build quality, this is definitely a very well-built laptop, although it's not perfect. Nothing really is, but comparatively to a Razer Blade 15, this is still better built from 2018. It's a single piece of aluminum, and you saw the hinge. It's just so much more sturdy, and that really matters when it comes to spending more than $2,000 on a machine, in my opinion. Boy, even at $1,100 or $1,200, I want something that it's going to be durable and strong. And this is 2 years old, and it's still kicking, so props to Razer on that. I think this is really awesome. I really like the weight distribution. It doesn't feel like 4.5 or 4.75 pounds, but you're paying for 300 hertz. You don't need 300 hertz. You're paying for aluminum, but it's not as sturdy of a hinge or sturdy of a design. It still has some creaks to it. You're paying for really cool colors and style, but the hinge isn't the same color as the top of the display. So you're paying for really awesome cooling design, right? But the fans just don't stop, and it's loud. I really like it. I just can't recommend it at $2,600. Now maybe with an RTX 2060, it would be cooler, it'd be quieter. I don't know for certain. And for 1080p gaming, a 2060 is still awesome. So you don't need the 2080 Super Max-Q for that. I don't have better news. It's just the way this one turned out. I'll make sure that Acer has my full review, just like you guys do. I'll send it to them, and maybe they'll have some commentary. But until then, I can't recommend it. If you want to spend that kind of money, more power to you, but I'd still think you're better off trying to find a refurbished or a year-old Razer Blade 15 and then a desktop, or an Ultrabook and a desktop. It does depend on the use case. All right, thanks for watching. I'll get those other reviews out soon, and I appreciate it. Take care.